this is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Alright, man, sitting here watching Bo versus Galata 1. Crazy fucking ending of that fight, man. Galata was beating the hell out of Riddick Bowe in that fight. Actually, both fights, he was getting the best of them. Second fight, very entertaining fight. Anyways, though, so I came out with a video the other day. You know, Tyson Fury, or Peter Fury, came out and said that Tyson will be back. They're talking about April, May 2017. Possibly he'll return to the ring. All right, now, before we get to that, I would like to know what's going on with the whole Nandrolone situation before he comes back, just because I haven't heard anything about that, all right? Now, with that out the way, a lot of people came to the comment section, and I didn't respond to every single person, but I'm just seeing comments. Some people say they don't give a fuck about Tyson Fury. He's a drug addict. Who cares about him? Let him retire. We don't need him. He's not needed. We don't want him. Everybody gave their opinion about it. And fair enough, that's your opinion. Now, here's my opinion, okay? Now, after Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko in November of 2015, remember before that fight, Klitschko had rescheduled the fight. I forget exactly what he said, what happened. But remember, they had the press conference where Fury came dressed up like fucking Batman, running around the venue and all that shit. And then Klitschko rescheduled the fight. They postponed it, okay? Then they got in there and fought. I thought Fury pretty much won that convincingly. He didn't beat his ass. You know, it wasn't a drag-out, 3 knockdown type of fight. There wasn't a lot of offense in the fight. You know what I mean? But with all that said, he won pretty convincingly, in my opinion, won unanimous decision, all right? Now, he wins that fight, okay? We think, as fans, we're getting a rematch right away. Fury comes out, he gets overweight. He's enjoying being the guy that beat Klitschko for the titles. He wasn't undisputed. We know Deontay Wilder has the WBC title, but he had 3/4 of the title, okay? He's partying, he's enjoying his victory, the fight schedule, and I forget which happens first. Yeah, he sprains his ankle. Remember, I did a video about it. He came out, showed a photo of his ankle. Some people thought that was a lie. They thought he actually put makeup on his ankle and faked it. Okay. They rescheduled the fight again, or they pushed it back, and then the Nandrolone shit came up. They're talking about that, and then, bam, the cocaine, he tested positive for cocaine, all right? The Nandrolone was something that was old, but the UKAD came out with it. Whole bunch of shit started happening, okay? A lot of fans, including myself, were not happy with Fury holding up the division. It's like, man, one good thing happens as far as the titles are taken away from Klitschko. We get some more fresh faces and new names in the division, Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? So a lot of fans were upset about that. I was too, because I thought that the rematch should have been taking place. You know what I mean? So a lot of fans, you know, they're still pissed off about that. So to them, it's like, look, we got Parker, we got Wilder, we got Ortiz, we got Joshua. Oh, and in the midst of all this, the IBF stripped the title away from Fury. They let Glasgow and Martin fight for that, and then Joshua beat Martin, you know, so on and so forth. So, yes, man, I was, you know, pissed off about it too, but here's where my opinion is different from a lot of you guys. Now, once all that's said and done, I agree with most of that. Well, I agree with all that other shit. I agree with it. But here's where my opinion differs from yours. I want Tyson Fury around. He isn't some old man. You know, I think he's, what, 28? I don't have his exact age in front of me, but 28, I think. So he still has some good years left. And to me, for him not to be around, although we do have Joshua and Wilder and Parker and Ortiz, all these big heavy hitters and all this, is great. It's exciting. I love it. But not having Fury around, it kind of, I don't all the way feel clean. I still feel a little bit dirty without him being around, because I want to see him get knocked off. I don't want to see him bow out from the sport or retire yet. I want to see him get beat first. Now, if you're a big Fury fan, you probably don't want to hear that. You know, that's fine. but I would like to see him get beat. It kind of reminds me of Michael Spinks. Now, I know that there's a lot of, it's ironic that Fury, I heard him talk about the top heavyweights in his opinion of all time, and he put Michael Spinks up there. So it's kind of ironic that I'm comparing him to Michael Spinks, but it's kind of like that Michael Spinks thing that happened in the 80s when the HBO and Don King, they put together that unification tournament. It took some hell and hot water to get that thing going, but they got it done. Butch Lewis and Michael Spinks said, nah, fuck all that. We're not being a part of your tournament. We beat Holmes twice. We, defended it against Tankstead, and then they said, fuck that. We're not going to be a part of this tournament. You guys can have this motherfucking title. We'll vacate it. We'll go fight Jerry Cooney instead. Because we'll still be looked at as the man, right? One guy in my comment section said, because I said Tyson Fury is the man that beat the man, and he said, what the fuck did that dude say to me? I forget the dude's fucking comment. Something like, it's low level for me to say he's the man that beat the man. It's a used, played out cliche. Okay, motherfucker, then what is he? He is the man that beat the man that had 3 of the fucking 4 titles, that was looked at as the #1 heavyweight for fucking 10 plus years. What else do you call it? Jesus, man. Fault finders, man, I swear. But anyways, it kind of reminds me of Spinks, because even though Tyson came along and he took care of business, he was in the tournament. He beat Trevor Berbick. Remember, Berbick had to fight Pinky Thomas. I know you guys Pink Line, but they called him Pinky Thompson back in the day. But he fought Pinky Thomas, Berbick did, and he was a WBC champion. Bone Crusher Smith fought Tim Witherspoon. It was a rematch to their first fight. He fights Tim Witherspoon, shocks him, beats him in the first round. He's the new WBA champion. Tyson beat both of those guys. He beat Thomas, or he beat Berbick in '86, November '86, and he beat Bone Crusher Smith in March of '87 for the WBA. They're still trying to figure out the IBF situation, so he made some defense. I think he defended against Pinky Thomas as unified titles, and then Tucker and Douglas fought for that vacant IBF strap, and Tony Tucker beat James Buster Douglas for it, and he became the new IBF champion. So then Tyson took care of him, but still, a lot of the public, even though Tyson looked the part, he was a new beast, strong, quick, fast. We know everything Tyson brought to the table. But, and I even had some uncles, man, back then that thought that Spinks was going to beat Tyson. Now, a lot of people look at Spinks like he's just this bum fighter, right? He's a bum. He's a bum. Tyson beat him in 1 round. He was a light heavyweight. Yeah, man, he was the fucking undisputed light heavyweight champion. That dude was fighting in championship fights, what, for 6, 7, 8 years before he even beat my man Holmes. If I'm not mistaken, at least 5 years or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't have all the stats in front of me, but that dude was the undisputed light heavyweight champion. He just wasn't some light heavyweight that moved up. You know what I mean? He was putting in work. So, and then he, was the man that beat Holmes. Nobody had beaten Holmes. Although Witherspoon, you can argue that Witherspoon should have got the victory over Holmes. You can argue the Norton fight was debatable. You can argue that Carla Truth Williams fight with Holmes was debatable. But the facts are, it was Spinks that got the victories. And you can fucking debate that the Spinks fights were debatable, especially the second fight. But anyways, facts go, he was the man that beat the man. I know wherever that guy name is in my comment section, you don't like to hear that, but that's what it is, man. He beat him. All right, so to a lot of people, the lineage was still with Spinks. He was really looked at as the champion, although Mike was the undisputed champion. People are still looking at Spinks like, yeah, Mike, you're doing your thing, and shit, you can possibly beat Spinks. A lot of people thought he was going to beat Spinks. The odds makers thought he was going to beat Spinks. But it was the fact that Spinks was just still out there. Just left you kind of dirty. You know what I mean? Like, you just didn't feel all the way clean with what was going on. Although Mike was the man, Spinks was still there, though. He's undefeated. He hadn't lost. You know what I mean? So, that's the same thing with this Tyson Fury thing. Now, the Fury and Spinks thing, although they have some similarities, it is a little bit different. Because when Fury beat Klitschko, he just hasn't fought since then. At least when Spinks fought Holmes, he rematched Holmes. All right. And then he had 2 fights after that. And then after his fight with Cooney, then a year later, he fought Tyson. Where it was kind of like the guy that was the lineal champion, still had that lineage, was fighting the new star, the undisputed champion, Mike Tyson. So that's why I want, and had Tyson not beat Spinks, just think if Spinks would have retired and never fought. We can sit here all day and say, oh, Tyson would have beat him. Tyson would have beat him. Tyson would have beat him. But had he never beat him, though, it just still would have left that kind of like that. He never beat Spinks, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad Spinks came back and Bush Lewis, they had to get their paper, though. The motherfuckers was laughing to the bank, you know what I mean, before they made that fight. They wanted their money, and they got it. And he went in there and got that work. You know what I mean? But this is the same thing with Tyson Fury. I want to see him come back. And if he does, you know, if he does come back, I know he's talking about he wants Deontay Wilder. Great. I want all these guys to say they want each other. So if we don't get a certain fight, then bam, plan B will be another great fight, right? I came out with a video earlier saying that Parker and Wilder want to fight each other. If that fight doesn't happen, shit, you mean to tell me I'm not going to be happy if Wilder fights Fury? If that's the secondary fight we get, I'm cool with that one. All these guys need to say they want to fight each other. So if one fight doesn't happen, then plan B should be another excellent choice. Right? It shouldn't be Wilder, Parker want each other, but if they don't fight, then fucking Wilder's going to fight Paul Butler or some shit. You know what I mean? I know I'm going, that's kind of... I'm kind of pushing it, but I'm just saying, I think plan B should be another great fight, right? If Parker doesn't get Wilder, then shit, Parker should fight the next best thing. Hey, David Hay. Hay beats Bellew. Let's say Hay wants to exercise his right, because he is #1 by the WBO, then fight Hay. I'm good with that one. You know what I'm saying? So, this is why I want Tyson Fury around, man, because it's like, it's kind of gives me that Michael Spinks feel a little bit, where these other guys can move on and unify and all that shit, but if Tyson Fury's not involved, I still feel kind of dirty. You know, I want him involved, and I would rather see him lose than just gracefully bow out. Because he is the man that beat the man, whether you like it or not.